Hello class, good day. For this video, pag-uusapan natin ang sine and cosine rule, product rule, and quotient rule. These are all topics in differential calculus. First one, we have the derivative of sine and cosine functions. It is stated here that the derivative with respect to x of our sine x is equivalent to cosine x. And the derivative with respect to x of our cosine x is equivalent to negative sine x. So all we need to do is to memorize this formula and i-apply natin sa ating examples. For our examples, differentiate the following functions. Letter A, y is equivalent to 2 sine of x. For this one, we will be using the derivative with respect to x of sine x is equivalent to cosine of x. Tandaan niyo lang class, if we have a constant katabi ng ating trigonometric function, all we need to do is to copy and paste our constant. For this one, yung ating constant is equivalent to 2. So, ika-copy-paste lang natin siya mamaya. So, let's start with this one. Y prime, ibig sabihin the derivative of our y is equivalent to, copy-paste natin yung constant kasi c cosine of x. And for this one, yung x po natin, which is yung katabi ni sine, which is also x. So, nakalagay dito, sine x magiging cosine of x. So, eto, sine x, magiging cosine. Then, yung x natin dito is also x. And this is our final answer. Next example, we have y is equivalent to sine x divided by 2. So, for this one, same pa din yung gagamitin natin, which is the derivative with respect to x of our constant sine x is equivalent to constant cosine of x. So, i-determine natin what is our constant c. That is equivalent to 1/2. And then dito, we have our x, which is katabi ni sine x, which is also x. Proceed tayo sa differentiating y prime. Ibig sabihin, the derivative of our y is equivalent to, copy-paste natin si constant, which is 1/2. Tapos, the derivative with respect to x of sine x is magiging cosine of x. So, ilagay natin cosine. And then, nakalagay dito, our x is also x. So, cosine of x. And that is our final answer. Next problem, we have the function of x is equivalent to cosine of x minus pi over 3 sine of x. So dito, meron tayong operation sa gitna. So this is a difference rule. So tandaan ninyo, if we have our sum and difference rule, we just need to differentiate them individually. So unahin muna natin si cosine of x. For cosine of x, ang gagamitin natin is the derivative with respect to x of cosine of x is equivalent to negative sine of x. And dito, wala tayong constant, but if meron, ang gagawin lang po natin is to copy and to paste. So, lagay natin dito, constant is wala tayo. The next is the value of our x. Dito, yung katabi ng ating cosine is x. So, yung ating value ng x is also x. Proceed tayo sa differentiating. We have f of prime of x. Ibig sabihin, the derivative of our f of x is equivalent to cosine x magiging sine x. Then yung constant is copy-paste. For this one, wala tayong constant. So, diretso tayo. Cosine x magiging negative sine x. So, negative sine. Then, nakalagay dito, our x is also x. Proceed tayo dito. Copy-paste lang po natin si negative. And then, determine natin ulit ano yung ating constant dito. That is equivalent to pi over 3. Next, the derivative with respect to x of our sine x is magiging cosine x. And then, copy-paste lang po daw natin si constant. So, para dito, yung ating x, which is katabi ni sine, is also x. So, proceed tayo sa ating formula, constant. Copy-paste natin, which is pi over 3. Tapos, si sine x magiging cosine of x. So, ilagay natin cosine of x. Review natin if masimplify pa. And as per observation, this will be our final answer kasi hindi na to masisimplify pa. Next rule is called as the product rule. The product of two differentiable functions and is itself differentiable. Moreover, the derivative of f multiplied by g is the first function times the derivative of the second. plus the second function times the derivative of the first. Ibig sabihin, if we have two functions or we have two polynomials that is multiplied by each other, first thing that we need to do is to copy-paste our first function. And then to derive our second function, lalagyan natin ng addition. Then copy-paste mo yung ating second function multiplied by the derivative of our first function. Or for example, we have the function u and the function v. Or we have our polynomial u and polynomial v. Copy-paste mo lang yung first function multiplied by the derivative of your second function. And then plus, copy-paste mo si second function multiplied mo sa derivative of your first function. Let us proceed with our examples para ma-apply natin yung concept natin kanina. Letter A, we have the function of h of x is equivalent to 3x minus 2x squared multiplied by 5 plus 4x. For this example, we have two solutions. Pwede nating i-apply yung ating product rule and pwede din natin siyang i-expand and then differentiate. So, syempre, apply natin yung ating product rule, that is the derivative with respect to x of our function u multiplied by function v is equivalent to u multiplied by the derivative of our v plus our v multiplied by the derivative of our u. Eto class, lagyan natin ng label. This one will be our function of u and this one will be our function of v. Differentiate muna natin si u at saka si v. Unahin natin si u. That is equivalent to 3x minus 2x squared. Apply natin si constant multiple class. That is the derivative with respect to x of our constant un is equivalent to constant nu raised to n minus 1. So, differentiate na natin si u. That is our u prime is equivalent to 3x magiging 3. Copy-paste natin si constant. Si x is magiging raised to 1. Minus 1 is 0. So, that is multiplied by 1. Copy natin minus. And then, we have our constant 2. So, copy lang din natin. Multiplied by our n, which is 2. Then, x. 2 minus 1 is 1. So, lagyan natin 1. Simplify natin, class. U prime is equivalent to 3 minus 4x. Next is our function v. We have v is equivalent to 5 plus 4x. Derive natin to using our constant rule. That is the derivative with respect to x of any constant is equivalent to 0. So, lagay natin dito, v prime is equivalent to 0 plus this one, gagamitan natin ng constant multiple rule. So, magiging 4. Then, x is magiging 1 na lang siya. So, our v prime is equivalent to 4. So, if na-derive mo na yung u tsaka v natin, proceed na lang tayo sa ating formula. So, sulat natin h prime of x. Ibig sabihin the derivative of our h of x. Copy-paste natin si u. That is 3x minus 2x squared. Tapos, copy-paste natin si v prime. Ito, that is multiplied by 4 plus. So, plus. Copy-paste natin si v. That is 5 plus 4x. And then, copy-paste natin si u prime, which is 3 minus 4x. Lagyan natin 3 minus 4x. So, tapos na tayo in differentiating. All we need to do is to simplify na lang. H prime of x is equivalent to, eto, distribute natin sa loob. 3x multiplied by 4, that is 12x. Minus 2 multiplied by 4 is 8x squared. Plus, so lagyan natin ng plus. Eto, gagamitan natin ng FOIL method. FOIL. 5 multiplied by negative 4x, that is negative 20x. 4x multiplied by 3, that is positive 12x. And then 4x multiplied by negative 4x is negative 16x squared. Simplify natin ulit class, that is x prime of x is equivalent to, combine like terms natin, then ilagay natin sa front yung mas malaki yung kanilang exponent. We have negative x squared minus 16x squared, that is equivalent to negative 24x squared. Tapos na tayo dito, tsaka dito. So proceed tayo, 12x minus 20x is negative 8x. Plus 12x, that is positive 4x. Lagyan natin plus 4x. Next is yung ating constant plus 15. So, copy-paste natin plus 15. By observation, this one cannot be simplified ulit. So, this will be our final answer. So, as I have said earlier, class, meron tayong second method for this one, which is to expand this and then differentiate. So, gagamitin natin ulit yung ating FOIL method. We have 3x multiplied by 5. That is equivalent to 15x. Next, we have 3x multiplied by positive 4x. That is positive 12x squared. And then, negative 2x squared multiplied by 5. That is negative 10x squared. Tapos, we have negative 2x squared multiplied by 4x. That is negative 8x cubed. So, combine like terms muna natin and then ilagay natin sa front yung mas malaki yung kanilang exponent. We have negative 8x cubed, positive 12x squared minus 10x squared. That is positive 2x squared. And then we have positive 15x. So that is our expanded and simplified h of x. Proceed na tayo sa ating differentiating. Most of this, ang gagamitin natin is constant multiple rule. That is the derivative with respect to x of our constant un is equivalent to constant n u n minus 1. We have h prime of x. Ibig sabihin, the derivative of our h of x is equivalent to, unahin natin to class, we have negative 8 and then multiplied by our n, which is 3. Copy natin si x, which is x. And then yung ating exponent, 3 minus 1 is 2. So we're done with this one. Proceed tayo dito. Lagyan natin ng positive. Copy-paste natin si constant, 2. Multiplied by our n, which is 2. And then yung u natin dito is x, yung may exponent. Tapos, exponent 2 minus 1 is positive 1. Proceed po tayo dito. Copy-paste natin si positive. Copy-paste natin si constant, which is 15. Then, x raised to 1 minus 1 is x raised to 0, which is equivalent to 1. So, pwede na nating hindi ilagay. Next thing is, simplify natin class. X prime of x is equivalent to negative 8 times 3 is negative 24x squared. Plus 2 multiplied by 2 is positive 4x plus 15. And this will be our final answer. So compare natin kanina na ginamitan ng product rule. We have negative 24x squared plus 4x plus 15. And then, eto na, in-expand natin and then simplify, same lang po yung kaniyang sagot. For our next example, we have y is equivalent to 3x squared multiplied by sine x. So this will be treated as product rule because we have two different functions, which is 3x squared, gagamitin natin siya as our u. And then sine x, that will be our v. So same process tayo kanina. First thing that we need to do is to differentiate our 3x squared and then differentiate din natin si sine x. So pagkatapos, sundan lang natin yung formula ng product rule. In differentiating our u prime, gagamit po tayo ng constant multiple rule, that is the derivative with respect to x of our constant un is equivalent to constant nu n minus 1. So dito, copy-paste lang natin si constant, which is 3. Multiplied natin ng ating n, which is 2. U natin dito is our x, so copy. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. So dito, yung ating u prime is equivalent to 6x. Proceed tayo sa ating v, which is our sine x. And as we have tackled earlier, the derivative with respect to x of our sine x is equivalent to cosine of x. So v prime is equivalent to cosine of x natin is x pa rin. Proceed po tayo sa ating product rule. We have y prime, which is the derivative of our y, is equivalent to ang ating u, which is 3x squared. Copy-paste natin. Tapos, v prime natin class is cosine of x plus, so lagyan natin ng plus. V po natin is sine x multiplied by our u prime, which is 6x. So, tapos na tayo in differentiating. Next thing that we need to do is to simplify na lang. We have 3x squared multiplied by cosine of x is still 3x squared cosine of x. So, bawal po siyang i-multiply sa loob if we are dealing with trigonometric functions. Plus, we have sine x multiplied by 6x. Again, class, bawal po siyang i-multiply sa loob. So, eto, ilalagay lang natin sa front, magiging 6x sine of x because we are dealing with trigonometric functions. By inspection class, this is our final answer. Or pwede din nating i-factor out yung the same sa kanilang dalawa. That is y prime is equivalent to 3x. So, ilagay natin 3x. So, eto, ilalabas natin si 3x. X na lang yung matitira. We have x cosine of x. Plus, eto, lalabas natin si 3x. Etong 6 divided by 3 is 2x. Ilabas natin, so mawawala siya. We have sine x. So, factor out lang. That is our final answer. So, okay na to na final answer. Pwede ding naka-factor out. I will accept kung saan sa dalawa yung sagot mo. Dapat marunong ka lang talaga mag-factor out. Baka kasi wala to sa ating choices. Letter C example, we have y is equivalent to 2x cosine of x minus 2 sine of x. For this problem, we will be dealing with product rule and sum and difference rule kasi meron tayong operation sa gitna. So, unahin muna natin to. We just need to differentiate them individually. Ito yung ating u, si 2x. Ito yung ating v, which is si cosine of x. So, unahin nating differentiate yung ating u, which is 2x. Magiging u prime is equivalent to 2 because we will be using our constant multiple rule. That is constant un is equivalent to constant n u n minus 1. So, sa mga formula natin, class, x yung nilalagay natin, pero dito, ang nilalagay ko is u to remind us that yung x natin is pwedeng polynomial. Anyway, variable lang naman siya, so pwede mong palit-palitan. Next, we have our v is equivalent to our cosine. So, the derivative of our v is equivalent to, gagamitin natin yung the derivative with respect to x of our cosine of x is equivalent to negative sine of x. So, dito yung cosine x is magiging negative sine of x. Again, class, focus muna tayo dito. So, that is product rule. U po natin, copy-paste. That is y prime is equivalent to u natin is 2x. V prime, copy-paste natin. That is multiplied by negative sine of x. Plus, so lagyan natin ng plus. V po natin is cosine of x. And then, yung u prime natin is 2. So, we're done in differentiating our 2x cosine of x. Proceed na po tayo kay negative 2 sine of x. So, sabi ko kanina, we just need to differentiate them individually. So, negative, copy natin negative. Tapos, eto is our constant and this is constant. Ibig sabihin, copy-paste lang natin siya, 2. And then sulat po natin na derivative with respect to x of our sine x is equivalent to cosine of x. If meron tayong constant, copy-paste lang po natin sa front. In this case, yung 2 yung ating constant, so copy-paste lang natin. Tapos sine x magiging cosine of x. So we're done differentiating. All we need to do is to simplify. 2x multiplied by negative sine x. Again po, bawal siyang i-multiply sa loob. So ilalagay lang natin siya sa front. That is negative 2x sine of x. Plus, eto, bawal siyang i-multiply. Ilalagay lang natin sa front. Magiging 2 cosine of x. Then eto, copy-paste lang natin, negative 2 cosine of x. Combine like terms po natin, class, that is y prime is equivalent to negative 2x sine of x, positive 2 cosine of x minus 2 cosine of x is cancelled out, cancelled out. So this will be our final answer. Last rule for this video is called as the quotient rule. Ibig sabihin, if we have two functions that is divided by each other, all we need to do is to copy our denominator multiplied by the derivative of our numerator minus copy our numerator multiplied by the derivative of our denominator, and then that is all divided by the squared of our denominator. Take note lang po, class, na yung ating v must not be equivalent to 0 because anything that is divided to 0 cannot be solved. Let us have our example. Y is equivalent to 5x minus 2 divided by x squared minus 1. As you can see with our example, class, hindi to masisimplify. So wala tayong choice but to use our quotient rule. So ulitin natin yung formula, that is the derivative with respect to x of our u divided by v is equivalent to v multiplied by the derivative of our u minus u multiplied by the derivative of our v, that is all divided by v squared. So determine natin dito, this will be our u, and yung denominator natin will be our v. So same process lang po sa ating product rule. First thing that we need to do is to differentiate our u, that is 5x minus 2. U prime po natin is, gagamit tayo ng constant multiple rule, that is the derivative with respect to x of our constant u n is equivalent to constant n u n minus 1. Ibig sabihin, copy-paste lang natin si 5, x raised to 1, minus 1 is x raised to 0, so that is 1, so pwede na nating hindi ilagay. Next is si negative 2. Gagamitan po natin siya ng constant rule. That is the derivative with respect to x of any constant is equivalent to 0. So this one is magiging 0. Proceed po tayo sa ating v. That is equivalent to x squared minus 1. Differentiate po natin siya. This one, gagamitan natin ng constant multiple rule. That is v prime is equivalent to, wala tayong constant, so proceed tayo kay n, which is 2. N natin is x. Tapos, n minus 1 is 2 minus 1, so that is raised to 1. Proceed tayo kay negative 1, that is a constant, and the derivative of any constant is 0. So, alisin na lang natin yung raised to 1. So, meron na tayong u prime, meron na din tayong v prime. So, susundan lang natin yung ating formula. Y prime, ibig sabihin the derivative of our y is equivalent to v. Copy-paste natin si v, which is x squared minus 1. U prime, copy-paste natin si u prime, which is 5. Tapos na to, tapos na din to. Proceed tayo kay negative. So, negative. Copy-paste natin si u, which is 5x minus 2. And then, copy-paste natin si v prime, which is 2x. So, lahat ng to is divided by the squared of our v. So, v po natin is x squared minus 1 squared. Last thing that we need to do, class, is to simplify. So, that is y is equivalent to, distribute natin sa loob, that is x squared multiplied by 5 is 5x squared. Negative 1 multiplied by 5 is negative 5. Minus, lagyan muna natin ng open and close parenthesis to avoid mistakes sa ating negative na nasa labas. So, 5x multiplied by 2x is 10x squared negative 2 multiplied by 2x is negative 4x. So, ito lahat is divided by x squared minus 1 squared. Simplify natin ulit. Y prime is equivalent to 5x squared minus 5. Ito, negative. Multiply natin sa loob, magiging negative 10x squared. And then si negative, multiply natin sa loob, magiging positive 4x. So that is all divided by x squared minus 1 squared. Last thing that we need to do is to combine like terms and then ilagay natin sa front yung mas malaki yung kanilang exponent. So magiging y prime is equivalent to 5x squared minus 10x squared is negative 5x squared. Tapos si positive 4x, copy-paste natin, minus 5. That is all divided by x squared minus 1 squared. So, pansinin nyo class, hindi ko na in-expand yung nasa denominator. Okay na yan siya. If we are dealing with quotient rule, we don't need to expand yung nasa ilalim. So, this will be our final answer. So, that ends our topic for this video. I hope that you have learned something in this video and hit our subscribe button if you like videos like this. See you again class sa ating another videos.